The moment Ms. Maya Collins stepped through the school gates, she felt the stares, cold, sharp, judging. But she kept walking, chin high, eyes steady, unaware that before the day ended, she would be lying in the mud with students laughing at her. And even more unaware that the bullies who pushed her there would soon learn the woman they mocked was someone they should have never challenged. A scream echoed across the field. "Throw her! Do it!" A group of senior boys, known troublemakers, surrounded the new teacher. Maya, drenched and bruised, looked up slowly, mud dripping from her chin. The boys froze when she whispered 4 quiet words, "I warned you," politely. They had no idea the woman they insulted for her skin color, the teacher they shoved because she looked soft, was a 5th-degree black belt who spent a decade training women in self-defense. And she was done being silent. Maya had arrived at Greenwood High that morning filled with hope. She dreamed of inspiring young minds, teaching compassion through literature, guiding students to see the world with empathy. But the moment she entered her classroom, she heard the whispers snaking behind her back. "Another diversity hire. She won't last. She looks weak." She didn't respond. She'd spent a lifetime navigating judgment, learning that silence was sometimes the strongest shield. One student, however, noticed her discomfort. A shy biracial girl named Lena, always bullied herself, stepped forward gently. "Ma'am, if you need anything, I'm here." It was the first kindness Maya received all day. Trouble began quickly. 3 boys, Chad, the ringleader, Hunter, the loud one, and Kyle, the follower, approached her like a storm. They came from households where racism was disguised as tradition and cruelty as strength. Chad smirked when he saw her. Fresh meat. Throughout the lesson, they threw paper balls, whispered slurs soaked in hate, and did everything to ruin the class. When Maya calmly asked them to stay after the bell, Chad sneered. "And what are you gonna do? Cry to the principal?" "No," she replied softly. "I'll talk to you, like a human being." Her politeness only made him angrier. Over the next few days, things spiraled. They hid her bag, glued her desk drawer, carved hateful words into the whiteboard, spread rumors that she hit a student. Maya reported it, but Chad's father was a major donor, an untouchable name. The school looked away. She handled everything with calm restraint, refusing to sink to their level. Lena, heartbroken to see her teacher suffer, finally asked, "Why don't you fight back?" Maya smiled sadly. Strength is knowing when not to fight. But even she had limits. The breaking point came during sports period. Maya had volunteered to supervise the field. Chad and his gang approached wearing cruel smiles. "Ever had a mud bath, miss?" Before she could react, they circled her. "What are you doing?" she demanded, her voice firm but controlled. They shoved her once, harder the second time. The third push sent her tumbling backward into the muddy puddle behind the bleachers. She fell with a painful thud, mud splashing across her face, hair, and clothes. The field froze. Some students laughed, others stared in horror. Lena ran forward, screaming at them to stop. Chad crossed his arms proudly. "You don't belong here." Maya pushed herself upright slowly. She wiped mud from her cheek, her eyes changing from gentle patience to something sharp, powerful, and calm. "Enough," she said softly. But her voice cut through the air like thunder. "You have crossed every line imaginable. And today, you learn consequences." Chad stepped forward to shove her again. "What are you gonna do?" His hand reached for her arm. He didn't get to touch her. Maya moved so fast the students barely saw it. She caught his wrist, twisted lightly, and Chad yelped in shock. Hunter lunged at her, but she sidestepped, guided his momentum, and he stumbled face first into the mud. Kyle tried from behind, but she dropped into a low stance and swept his leg, sending him safely to the ground. She didn't attack. She didn't hurt them. She used pure technique. Soft, controlled, disciplined. The power of a true martial artist. Breathing steadily, she said, "I hold a 5th-degree black belt in Aikido. I could have injured all of you. But violence doesn't teach respect. Choices do." The crowd fell silent. Students who once snickered at her now looked at her with awe. News spread fast. Witnesses stepped up. Students who were silent before finally spoke the truth. The principal, pressured by overwhelming evidence, suspended the bullies and required them to attend counseling and diversity programs. Chad's father tried to interfere, but video recordings from students captured everything. Even he couldn't deny it. A week later, Chad approached Maya with trembling hands. He wasn't the arrogant boy anymore, he was a teenager realizing the weight of his cruelty. "Ma'am, I'm sorry," he said quietly. I didn't know you had to deal with this stuff your whole life. Maya looked at him with compassion, not anger. Chad, I'm not disappointed because you hurt me. I'm disappointed because you hurt yourself by choosing hate. He swallowed hard. Why didn't you hurt us back? Because I'm not here to beat you, she replied. I'm here to teach you, even when you don't want to learn. Chad nodded, tears filling his eyes. And he walked away determined to be better, not out of fear, but out of respect. Over the months, Maya became the most respected teacher in the school. Students who once whispered behind her back now sought her guidance. Her strength, quiet, compassionate, unshakable, changed the culture of the campus. One afternoon, Lena hugged her tightly and said, "You didn't just teach them a lesson. You taught all of us what real strength looks like." Maya smiled softly. Sometimes the strongest warrior is the one who never wanted to fight. Her story spread far beyond the school, inspiring people who had ever been judged, mistreated, or underestimated. She proved that true power is not found in fists, force, or fear, but in dignity, discipline, and the courage to stand tall even when the world tries to push you into the mud.